Hello, I'm Erica. If you don't know me, nice to meet you, and you should subscribe. Today's video, I don't really have anything planned as to like what I'm gonna say, but I just have an idea of what I want to talk about. Here's the thing. Recently, I watched a video that I had seen before like a year ago, and I remember I loved it. And then I just like rediscovered it because I was reminded of it through like a different video. It was a TED Talk about vulnerability. I'm just gonna link the video below because I don't wanna like repeat everything she says in the video or like get it twisted. So I'm just gonna link it below. Go and check it out and then like come back to this video, or you can watch this first and then go to that one. The thing is that being vulnerable shouldn't be a bad thing. I honestly think that it makes you a stronger, more authentic person when you aren't afraid to be vulnerable. And I've always been someone who truly admires authenticity and always strives to be as authentic as possible in real life, on camera. I just want to be authentic and as true to myself as I possibly can be. And so after watching this video, I realized that I sometimes do feel afraid to open up. I kind of worry about like what others think, whether that's like my friends or like people on the internet, and I really don't want to anymore. I don't want to have this fear or this shame that like showing my feelings and like opening up and being true and real with everyone I come across in my life. I don't want that to be a bad thing. Today I want to open up to you guys, and it's not like I haven't been open before because I have quite a few videos on my channel that are pretty personal. I want to be someone that you guys can relate to because I literally am. I'm just a girl. I'm just a 20-year-old girl living her life, you know, struggling sometimes, going through issues, growing. I'm just a person, and that's really what I want to get across through my videos. Today I'm just gonna like tell you guys a story, kind of. This is a story about how I lost myself, but then I found myself again. And I say that like lightly because I don't know, I'm trying to figure out life right now. Like, do we really find ourselves or do we create ourselves? I don't know. Let me know what you think in a comment. I go back and forth. I'm gonna tell you about the time where I lost a sense of who I was after I feel like I had a good grip on understanding who I was, what I loved to do, what I believed in. And it all kind of started when I moved to LA. And I'm not saying it was a bad idea or that it was in any way, shape, or form like a negative thing that I did with my life. Like, I love Los Angeles. I love it so much and I'm so grateful to be here. But before I moved to Los Angeles, I think the summer after I graduated high school is when I had a lot of time to really discover who I was and kind of like soul search, I guess you could say. I read a lot of books, I watched a lot of YouTube videos that interested me, that were like educational, and I learned a lot about, I guess, spirituality. I feel like by the end of that summer, I really had a great understanding of who I was, and I was confident in myself, and I was happy, so happy with the life I was living. And then in the fall, I moved to Los Angeles. I had never had like a panic attack or anxiety to the point where I could not eat anything because I would feel nauseous if I did. I never had anything like that. So I experienced really bad anxiety. I think I was just not used to having such a big change, you know, leaving my home. It was just a lot. That was already something that kind of like affected like the progress I had made that summer. And then I ended up moving, and I didn't really have that many friends. I wasn't that close to the roommate I had at the time. I was really upset with what my YouTube had become at that point. I felt like it wasn't really me, and I didn't want to make unauthentic content. And I also just felt at that time like YouTubers were two different people, just like, I don't know, it was a weird time with like me and YouTube. And then I started school, and that kind of affected like my upload schedule, and I wasn't able to film as much because I didn't have friends to film for me really. And it was just like, I don't know, a change, and it was stressful and whatever. And I feel like from that point, that's when like my channel kind of went like downhill, and like I lost interaction. And you know, I realized like it's not about the views, it's not about the numbers, it's not about the likes, the money, it's really not. And I stopped doing like any kind of like sponsored videos or like brands because I just felt like it was inauthentic, which now I feel completely differently, and I don't view like YouTubers or YouTube the same way anymore. I've kind of grown to understand like that it's a business, and that's just what it is. So I kind of like distanced myself slowly from YouTube and kind of just like focused on school, uploaded when I could, but at the same time I was kind of like uninspired, and I didn't know what kind of content I wanted to create. And then 2016 came, and I kind of decided like, okay, I'm gonna be real, I'm gonna be authentic, I'm gonna create my kind of content. And I did, and I liked those videos a lot more, but I was still super busy and caught up with school, so I didn't have as much time to upload and whatnot. Then I finally started making some friends, and I think that I started to kind of mold myself into what they believed and like the things they did, and it was fine for a while. But then I finally realized like, hold on, Erica, like this isn't really you, like this isn't what you believe. And I wanted to feel like I did that summer before I moved to Los Angeles. I just made that decision to, you know, read what I was interested in, read books again, like get back into spirituality. That alone like made me feel, I guess, whole again. That's just who I am. And I know I might have been lying to myself for a while when I was in that phase, and I don't really like want to say like what it was. Ever since my early teenage years, I feel like I've always had a really good grasp on like who I am as a person, what I believe in, what my morals and values are. I always have, and I've always stayed true to who I am, and I think I can like proudly sit here and say that to you guys. Of course, I'm always wanting to better myself and to improve every single day of my life. Right now, like I'm starting to feel like myself again, like that the way I felt before I moved to LA. And I'm happy now because I am in LA, and I could have always felt this way, but you know, I kind of let other things, you know, get in the way of really focusing on myself. I'm sitting here, I don't really know who's gonna watch this video, but that really doesn't scare me anymore, and I don't want to ever like be scared of that, because I get that being vulnerable is a hard thing to do, and honestly it's not super easy for me. Even though I am like a pretty empathetic person, like I like to be open and honest, but for some reason it's always been easier for me to talk to a camera about this kind of stuff than it is to talk to another person, which is weird. But I think it's something that I want to work on, try to improve, you know, being vulnerable to everyone around me, because I think that really proves your strength, honestly. I think that vulnerability is such an important and valuable thing and feeling, and it's not something that we should run away from or be afraid of. With that said, I hope that you guys can take what I said, and hopefully it helps you out in some way. I hope this video at least makes you consider being more vulnerable with the people around you, the people in your life. I'm on this journey to really love myself and to understand who I am. I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you all know that there will be more of these kinds of videos coming. If you have gone through a time in your life when you felt like so lost and so unattached to yourself, kind of like I did. I didn't really describe it as like realistic as it actually was, but it was a battle with myself, like in my mind, and it was a back and forth kind of thing. But I feel like right now where I am, I'm on the right path again. I feel like myself and I'm so happy. And lastly, I hope you all know that I am always here for you, and if you want to open up to me and be vulnerable to me, I am more than happy to listen, to read a message, to reply, to help anyone out. I'm here. I'm just a friend. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching this. It truly means the world to me, and I guess I will see you in my next video. Bye.